It is Monday night, and I have not vlogged all day because I've literally been doing school all day long, but it's okay. I have 2 weeks left. 2 weeks, and then I'm done. I'm free. It's over, and school is out of my life. So we're getting there. We're so close. But because I wasn't able to vlog today, because that would have been boring for you to watch, today's vlog of Vlogmas Day 3 is going to be cooking with me. It's my favorite dish to cook, and it's shrimp scampi because it's so easy, and I eye it all. It's so easy. And if you're looking for something, sometimes I know when people have like their Christmas dinner with just like their immediate family, this is something that would be so good to cook because it's so easy. And if everybody loves shrimp and pasta, you're good. You're good to go. So here you go. Let's go make some shrimp scampi. The first 2 things that I do when I start this is I start to defrost the shrimp in just a bowl of water. Show you that. Just like that, cool water so it doesn't like, you know, warm up the shrimp, but just to like defrost the frozenness of them. And then I heat the water for the pasta so then that can start to boil while I'm prepping everything else. Right now we have 2 pots going on because I'm cooking for myself and Adina, and Adina is gluten-free. So normally like I'll do gluten-free with her, but with shrimp scampi I like to have this kind of pasta, like the angel hair, but she has this kind, which is totally fine, but I like to twirl my shrimp scampi, so I'm just doing 2 separate pastas. And now I'm gonna start prepping everything with like actually chopping everything up. So let's start with that. I'm first starting off with 2 pieces of garlic because I love garlic. This dish obviously already has it in there, but I feel like you can never use too much garlic. It always just tastes so good. So I'm just peeling these and then I'm gonna start cutting them. You can also totally use the pre-minced garlic. I have used that in the past, but I just really like using fresh garlic as much as possible. I like the flavor of it, and I just think it's always good to have your food as fresh as you can get it for the, you know, for what you can do. So I cut up 1 more piece of garlic because I forgot that I'm actually making a slice of garlic bread too. So let me show you. For the extra piece that I cut up in bigger slices because I want this to go into the sauce to really like give it that flavor, and so it can like separate the flavor without it burning. This is gonna go onto the shrimp, and then this is gonna go onto the garlic bread. I'm now just taking a small slice of onion because I like to have the onion flavor in the shrimp scampi, but I don't want it to be like overbearing, so I'm going to finely chop the onion. The pasta's boiling, so we're gonna start with the sauce, and this is where I really just eye it out. So we're gonna start with some olive oil. Let me try to show you this. It's gonna be a struggle, but here we go. A little bit of this. And then once this heats a little bit, I just wanna twirl it around, and this is when I'm gonna start cooking in the garlic and the onions. I am cooking this until it gets nice and fragrant in the pan. This is on medium heat right now too. It started getting nice and fragrant, so I just put in about a tablespoon of butter. We are also using vegan butter for this recipe because Adina is also dairy free. So it tastes the same, literally. Tastes the same, works the same. It's all the same. So if you are gluten and dairy free, this is still a possible dish. I'm now taking half a cup of wine. I always use Chardonnay when I do this, but you can use whatever you want, as long as it's like a drier white wine. I'm gonna mix this in, and then I'm gonna let this simmer for about 8 minutes to cook out the alcohol. Now that the sauce is cooking, I'm gonna start prepping the shrimp. So the way that I like to do this is to butterfly them, because the shrimp is like a little bit on the smaller side, like medium sized. So I like to butterfly them because I think I feel like they cook a little bit nicer and not so dense, if that makes sense at all. So I'm gonna show you how I do that. I just take from the top of the shrimp, and I'm going to just slice down in the middle of it until it opens like that. And then I just place the shrimp on a plate because I'm going to season them before they go into the sauce and get cooked. I'm done butterflying the shrimp now, so that's the same time that the sauce finished cooking. So I'm just adding another tablespoon of butter. And then the trick to this too is to always save pasta water, because it helps you make more of a sauce, because your pasta is going to soak up the sauce a lot. So if you save some pasta water, then you'll have more sauce, which is a plus, because I love to be able to like dip my bread and just really have like a lot of sauce to work with, so it's not like dry pasta. So we're going to take that, and then this is like a good amount to have, so we're gonna pour that in there. Okay, I did like half of it. So now I'm letting that all cook together, but I'm going to add some of this lemon juice in here, but I'm gonna save a little bit of it because I'm gonna put some on the shrimp too. We're creating a nice white wine lemon butter sauce. So we're putting that lemon in there, and then taking some oregano and just sprinkling that in a bit. Once you do that, I mix it up. And then I'm gonna let that sit and really just create a nice sauce, and I'm gonna slightly simmer it a bit. Now, once the sauce is really finishing up, I am going to start seasoning the shrimp. I butterflied the shrimp, now we're gonna season them. So I patted them dry with a paper towel, and then I just twisted them, so then this way they're gonna get like a nice even coating of the, what do you call it? Seasoning. Okay, so we're gonna take that garlic that we chopped up. Now I'm gonna take some red pepper flakes, and you don't have to go crazy with this, but that's a good amount. And then I'm actually going to, speaking of, put some of this into the sauce, because when this gets cooked in, it gives it just the perfect amount of spice, and I love it. It's like a little bit of a kick, but it's not overbearing. And then back to the shrimp, we're gonna add some paprika on here. And then just drop a little bit of oil. And then I'm just gonna take my hand and mix it all around, so then all of it gets coated nice. And then the shrimp are just gonna sit like that for a little bit. I'm going to make the bread, put it in the oven, and then I'll put the shrimp in and then mix all the pasta in, and it's gonna be so good. So none of that recorded. I just made my garlic butter, and none of it recorded, but I'll just tell you, I took butter, melted it a little bit, added parsley flakes, a little bit of pepper, some grated Parmesan cheese, and the garlic that I had left over. And oh my gosh, I forgot one more thing. See, this is what happens when I film, is I'm like sidetracked, but some extra lemon on the shrimp. You do that too, to squeeze a little bit on. Totally forgot. So now the shrimp is all finished getting set and cooked, but here's the garlic bread. It's getting ready to go in. I'm just gonna grate a little bit more cheese on top, and then we are good to go. We're gonna put it in the oven and let it cook, and then we are going to cook the shrimp. All right, I just threw the shrimp into the sauce. Now you can do this two ways. Sometimes I will take the shrimp and I'll do 2 minutes on each side. and that will cook them nice and even. But if I keep it lower and I'm cooking directly into the sauce, because if I do the 2 minutes on each side, I'll use a separate pan. But if I'm cooking directly into the sauce, you can kind of just stir the shrimp around and just wait until they get pink, and then you're good to go. And then that way they're really cooking in the flavor right into the shrimp. So I'll show you what they're looking like. They're looking nice and pink. They are getting there. They're almost ready. And then you can see in the video it looks a little more yellow than it does in person, but the sauce is really picking up the seasoning of the shrimp too. So we're gonna have a nice flavorful sauce, which is awesome. To finish up, I split up the sauce into 2 different pans and then let the pasta itself soak up the sauce, and then cooked some spinach separately, threw that into both pans, and then let the shrimp go on top. And there you go, there's some shrimp scampi. I also added a little bit more of parsley flakes on top to just garnish it a bit. And I'm gonna add cheese to mine, and then we're all good. And here's the bread. I think that it has to be, I have to cook it just like a couple more minutes, but I can see it in there a little bit. Woo, food. I'm now trying a little bite of my shrimp scampi. Let's see how it is. So good. Every time. Can never go wrong. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. My lovely, oh, hello, bread falling. Lovely dish of shrimp scampi. And try it. I'm telling you, it's so easy. There's a lot of different spices and everything, but it makes it so good and it gives it the perfect amount of flavor. And yeah, it was great. So I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching my day 3 of Vlogmas. Talk to you later.